one thing I see a lot in my clients is they call me and they go, Olivia, I want a $500,000 policy. I have like $60 a month. I seen this ad that was saying that it's $9.95 a month for for $300,000. So I was thinking $500,000 would at least get it. I can get that for $60. And I'm like, it don't work that way.
Change is inevitable. Why hold on to what you have to let go of? Like, did I really break your heart?
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Spotless Minds Podcast. Here we talk about all things beauty, health, and wealth for women. Today I am with a fellow life insurance agent, so we're gonna get into all the details, the information about life insurance, and why you should get your policy today. I really don't know what you're waiting for. Either way, hi Sharay.
Hey,
how are you?
I'm doing good.
Okay, so do you want to just tell the people a little about who you are, where you're from?
Sure.
What got you into life insurance?
Okay. I am not going to touch on it too much, but my name is Sharay Lawson. I'm originally from South Carolina, moved to New York, Brooklyn, and came here at 14. So I'm Georgetown, Brooklyn, Atlanta. The reason that I started life insurance, it goes personally to me being a mother. I lost my daughter when I was 18 years old. Wow. So I actually know how it feels not to have life insurance or not to be ready at a young age. So it really made me, when I got into the field with a friend and she was telling me, like, you have such a story, you have such a drive, let's see what you can do for other people to help them, like people our age, to help them get into life insurance. So that's the reason why I wanted to start doing life insurance, being that I had my own personal loss. And
wow. And how old was she?
She was 6 months. It was nothing like dealing with any personal issues. It was just she went in her sleep, and sometimes God, he does what he does. And today I'm a strong woman. I could talk about it. I can help others who need it. So
wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
Okay. I've definitely experienced loss, and I haven't had anyone close, like, where I would have needed the policy yet.
Right.
But kind of speak to what that time is like, getting ready for that.
Preparing for death.
Yeah.
I think there's nothing that can prepare you initially for death, but having that security does help, because I was losing bricks, I was losing minds, I had to ask family members. Like, that is the worst feeling, and that is what you should use to prep, because you don't ever want to feel like, wow, I done lost somebody this close to me, or even myself, and the people that are left behind have to pick up and take care of what, has been moved over. So it's like, prepping yourself for that is first a spiritual thing that you gotta get in tune with yourself, and just knowing if something happens to somebody that is a caregiver or even a child, you want to make sure that you have some type of backbone, because it is high to bury. And I was a child, and it was almost $6,000. So just imagine how it could be for somebody that's older or even my age. It's almost at least $10,000 just to bury. Cremation is $5,000. So,
and by the time you see this, it's probably 13, 14. Like, it's going up. The price is going up.
I'm trying to tell you. Yes.
Sheesh. Wow. That's deep. And so, did you get into life insurance slowly after, or quickly after that, or was it?
It took. So I was 19. I'm 29 now. So I was 18, 19. I'm 29 now, about to be 30. So I've been in life insurance for a year. It took almost maybe 3 years ago, probably during COVID, where, I mentioned my friend she does life insurance herself, and she was all into it, and she's like, yeah, you do it, you have a story to tell people. So I say it took me about 3 years to just go ahead, study, do what I need to do, because I was kind of out, trying to live life, and it took that for her to say that, and for me to buckle down to just say, I'm going to give it what I got. And I tell my story to people.
Wow. And you said it's been a year?
Yes, a year.
How has your year been?
It's been good. It's been real good.
No, I don't want to hear the good part. I don't want to hear the good part.
Okay.
I want to hear like the actual challenges.
Ooh.
Because, on this channel, I do want to, of course, big up the entrepreneurship.
Right.
But a lot of people don't realize what we go through as life insurance agents, especially getting the young crowd to understand. Because you don't want to be like someone who pressures. Like, I'm not trying to pressure you to get your policy, but I'm trying to tell you, you're going to need it.
Yes.
Yes. So tell me a little bit about the challenges, and who do you sell through or work with?
I sell through Advisors XL. The challenges that, as a beginning life insurance agent and trying to get in the industry, is more so knowing your products, not making sure you're comfortable talking to people. That's a lot of our challenges, because we can sell it, but it's like we have to be able to have that connection with somebody, because you're dealing with their future finances, you're dealing with their life. So if they're not taking it as serious and they see that you aren't as confident, it kind of like, later on down the line, they're just going like, I don't need this policy.
Right.
But if you enforce that into them and you build that confidence up to know that what you're selling is not just a product, it's actually something that they need, and you just provide it for them, it's better. Another challenge with life insurance would be the cold calls. If you're a telesales, if you do telesales, it's the cold calls, it's the getting hung up, because people hung up on me so many times. Stop calling my phone. So
I never requested it. Actually, it says you sent this in like 20 minutes ago.
I think that was my such and such. Okay, they know all your information. Right. Okay. So that kind of, because, with life insurance, you got different products. So it's like with those products, it's a little difficult. But with the IULs, it's kind of like getting people, like I say, you have to be able to be confident to talk to people and tell them what you got is what they need. And that's the challenge right there with the IUL. So those are just some of the challenges I feel. And just being able to go out and network, other states, talking to different people, because this is something that each person needs. Each person.
And so we talk a lot about the death benefit as what the need is, but a lot of people don't know like other benefits, including what an IUL is. So maybe let's get into some of the other products outside of just death benefit products. Okay.
So, of course, I know everybody's been hearing about their own banking account, savings account, but those are the upsides of life insurance. You can actually use this for a house. You can use this for future business investments. Like, it has its benefits, not just totally on death. So with that, I feel like you get the best of both worlds. You can have your money to secure you if something happens. And then you can also have your money to secure you if you want to go out and do things, because this is actually your money. It's gaining interest. It's going into other investment pools. So it benefits you and it benefits your family.
Right. Tell us about how that works. Because I think people think that, okay, I'm just going to open up a policy and then, okay, it's maybe worth $100,000 if I pass away. So I got $100,000 to play with.
Right.
What is it really like?
Most definitely. Yeah, you have $100,000, say for instance, but you gotta let it add interest. You gotta let it sit. You can't just think that, okay, I opened this up this year and you haven't really put no money into it, because it's always a money game with anything you do. You gotta put money in so that you can always get money out. If you think that you can start this policy today and you got $100,000 in death benefit and you can just, no, their insurance company is not gonna let that happen.
Right.
So it's gonna take some time to accumulate. So when you're doing this, I suggest that people should not put a timing on when they should get their money, or if they know that they're gonna overfund it, then that's cool. But if you just, okay, this is for 5 years, this is for 10 years, let it build up. You know, we can't just think that that money is just something to pull, because it's for future investments,
right?
Future wealth for our kids and, you know, for families. So it definitely has to be built up.
I think that's where people struggle the most, is thinking about the future.
I don't think they think about the future.
They don't.
they don't get that 50,000 right then and there.
Right.
No, I think it's because of the celebrities. You know, they talk about how they do that, but these celebrities, they get these accounts and these things that are going to help them for future, but they're also pouring into it as a banking account. So once you do that, they're happy to go ahead and, okay, well, say if you have a $40,000 policy and you want to take out $20,000, it's been almost 5 years, it gained interest of $10,000. You can still take out that $20,000 that you want from that 40, and the 10% can still go and add value somewhere else. So it's not penalized. You just gotta let it. You can still take your money back out, and it's still being accumulated. It's still accumulating interest.
And how do you take it out? Do you call the insurance company? Okay. Just be like,
It's more so as a loan, your own loan for yourself.
Right.
So, okay, I'm going to just take out this money real quick. I'm going to borrow it. Maybe make me a business investments on some properties, Airbnb. I'm going to put it back, and guess what? It's going to have more money. Even though I made an investment, I still have it rolling, doing its own thing. Put it back, it's going to make even more money. So I think that's like the best thing to do.
The only thing to do at this point, like the number one thing to do specifically. So people, one thing I see a lot in my clients is they call me and they go, Olivia, I want a $500,000 policy. I have like $60 a month. I seen this ad that was saying that it's $9.95 a month for for $300,000. So I was thinking $500,000 would at least get it. I can get that for $60. And I'm like, it don't work that way. Can you maybe help people figure out a realistic number of what they need when they're thinking about their policy? What are some factors?
Well, first, we're going to collect data from you. We're going to make sure that what you're getting actually fits you and what you need. Because as people, we always want more than we can chew off of and don't want to pay for what it is. You know, we want to go to McDonald's and, you know, think that, okay, yeah, this is going to be good. And next minute, you know, your fries is dry. So, you know, we got to think about what you need first.
Yeah.
You know, if you have kids, you know, of course, you want to think about each one of them you want to leave. Then you want to think about if you have a spouse. You want to think about first them. You want to think about how much of a burden, if something happened to you, you know, what's going to be good for them. And then you want to look at your budget, because at the end of the day, you can make, long as you have life insurance, that's the best thing. Long as you have something. It doesn't have to be $500,000, but long as somebody has something to bury you if something happens, that's all that matters. But you always want to stay within your budget. You don't want to go overboard. Yeah, I want $1 million for my kids when I seen it is $10.99, but you got to make sure you have the health class to qualify for those rates, because these insurance companies aren't playing. They want, some of them you could do without health tests, but the cheaper ones, you're gonna have to, you know, give some type of sample. So that is the suggestion. Just stay within your budget range so that you can have something to bury yourself. You don't have to have $1 million totally. And you can always, your agent, whoever your agent is, can always bump your price up. So if you say, I only got $10 a month and that can get you $10,000, that's perfect. You know, it's something that secures you and your family if something happens. At least it will be able to be buried, you know?
Right.
So.
And I like to say, when it comes to the spouse, what you think your spouse may need, just consider, not just, but consider the monthly payments on the mortgage.
Right.
6 months.
Whew.
Yeah. Like, think about how much time you want to give her to be able to grieve. I think a lot of people, a lot of people in our community specifically are like, I don't care. Like, you know, what happens to them, I'm gonna be dead. It's not my problem. It's not their concern at all what happens. Even I hear this even with their spouse.
Right.
Like, this is the person you're married to, and you're not even
trying to, like, you're not giving them enough to be able to take care of what's been left. Because with mortgages, you have taxes still.
Right.
And it's not the same. That burden is on her or him, plus the kids. So you're right. You know, you have to think about what is feasible. And you got to think about, you don't think about how much money is a price for your loved one. So you do think about your budget, but also think about what is good for them, you know, because some people, $60 a month is all I have, but you're out here in the club spending thousands of dollars when you could have been taking that $1,000 a month to have $1 million policy. So it's all about priorities. So we definitely have to talk about that. The young people, that's their problem. We go out here, we spend money, we're not totally investing it into ourselves for future, future families, future wealth. So we have to prioritize more. That $100 you make off of work, and you got 3 kids, you need to make sure that, okay, if something happens to me, each of them have $100,000.
Right.
I'm going to sacrifice for that, because that is what's more important than going out here to be like, oh yeah, I need that Chanel bag or this and that, or the knockoff one, whatever, whatever floats your boat. But still,
and that's like 10 years from now, you're going to even look back on it for yourself and think, okay, I can start a business now.
Right.
And that's what I tell my younger clients. I'm like, you can start a business then. So you may not have it all together right now, and that $50, $60 a month you're putting into it seems like a lot right now, but in 10 years, when you're maybe fired or done with this job, or you got into an accident and now you only have one leg or something crazy like that can happen.
Right.
You can now have some money to figure out what you're going to do next.
Right.
So, yeah, okay. Young people. Young people.
Get it together.
Get it together. Get it together. It's like I do want to ask you, what are you saying to your younger clients that seem to resonate with them?
So what am I telling them more or less? I'm telling them to invest, and investing for the ones that actually come to me and tell me that they have the money and they want to go ahead and put it in an insurance policy, even a whole life one, because you can still take from that later on. Invest. I'm telling them to invest. If you're looking, like you say, 10 years down the line, you got this $100,000 policy. You can go buy you a car.
Right. Don't get the car now.
The dream car that
right.
you want. You can go buy it. You invested into yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of hard for them to see the ultimate goal of what it is, because they're just seeing we're making payments. You got to think about it as, this is my car insurance. This is my business insurance. This is every other, my phone insurance, So I tell them, you got to think about that. And I didn't mention, I also come from the nightlife industry. So I used to be a dancer. So I talk to a lot of those girls also, because they make so much money that they can invest it into a policy. They can have their retirement, fund it for them, and they don't have to do this. They could take that $5,000 they made that one night, and there you go. You're set for your retirement off of one night, and it's building interest. You dance for 10 years. Look at there. You could go buy that dream house. You don't have to work no more. You don't have to do those things. So that was also another thing that I try to, with the young people that are actually into the nightlife, barbers and things of that nature, like, go ahead and
independent contractors.
Set up your retirement plan. Come on.
I don't know if we talked about this, but I danced for 5 years.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're in the same boat.
Yes, we are. So I would put, once I started transitioning from that to life insurance, I would put the flyers in the strip club and try to talk to the girls about it. Girl, it went from
here,
like,
over their heads. See, now,
and I'm like, I cannot figure out how to connect.
Maybe you got to put a man in there. I'm just talking.
Look,
no, and he's holding the cash.
Right.
Here goes the ones.
Right.
You ready to invest? Okay, you're gonna dance for this, but we're gonna put this over here
in your policy.
There
Look.
we go.
That might be a good event.
We might need to do that, okay? Yeah, they probably would like that. Like, oh, really?
Yes, you work the event, but every dollar goes into...
I'm trying to tell you.
That'd be cool.
I think that with the people in the nightlife, it's such fast money that, you're not thinking about the future. I wasn't thinking about the future when I was doing it. I was just spending. And I wish somebody would have came to me. And I feel like in order for us to reach more of them, we got to do more closed sessions with them, so that they can see how much it benefits them, in the long run. Because, sister girl, you could break a leg on that pole. We done seen dancers drop from the top down.
Yeah. Yes.
And guess what? The club doesn't have insurance.
Right.
So what you gonna do?
They don't have a plan.
No.
A lot of them.
You can have these riders that they have on these policies. If something happened to you, you can be able to get some of that money.
Right.
Critical, chronicle, terminal. Hopefully, those are nothing that will happen. But you can see what will help you if something like that in that industry would happen to you.
Yeah, and it could. Like, a lot of girls that were doing it had babies.
Huh. Wow, yeah.
And they're doing all these crazy, beautiful pole tricks.
Right.
And it's like you can get critically hurt.
Right.
You upside down, you coming straight down, you fall on your head. Oh my gosh, that chick right there, I'll be like, no, no,
not me,
girl, not me. I'm staying on the floor, okay?
There you go. There we go. There we go. There we go.
Yeah, and they're not even thinking about their children and, okay, what are you going to do?
Right.
Yeah.
When it stops,
Mm-hmm.
what are you going to think about? You know, if something happened to me late one night, not saying God forbid,
Right.
but still,
One of the customers.
yes,
Yeah.
because it happens. We have a lot of those things, you know. When you're in the nightlight, you just don't know.
Yeah.
You could be shootouts. You just don't know. You could be caught. So you just still got to think about the future, you
Right.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like those, especially women, I talk to a lot of them too, and I tell them like it is serious that you go ahead and get your retirement plan. You know, you have no reason why in 5 years that money that you've made, even though you could probably spend, you don't have it's not a backup plan. Because I wish I would have did it, to be honest.
Yeah.
The money that I was spending,
Yeah.
I wish I would have invested into
Yes.
a life insurance,
Yes.
a retirement plan, and everything. Like, seriously. So I will advocate that. Definitely.
What made you stop dancing? Like, what was it that inspired you to kind of get into an actual career?
Well, it's my daughter always. She gives me every motivation that I believe I'm here just because of that, you know. It was when I was dancing, I did have a plan. My plan was my hair business. I invested solely into that because I wanted to be my own entrepreneur.
Right.
And I wanted to make money. So I made sure at least I did that. And when COVID came, it made it so much more easier for me not to revert back to going, because I was seeing that I can do this without dancing. You know, I can do this without, because I was so used to that type of money for so long. It was hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's still hard. But, you know, I God first, always. He's definitely the reason. And my daughter, she just makes it she makes it even more easier for me to be like, look, you got this, okay? You done came a long way. I need you to have a plan. And then I do everything in her name. Like, she's my motivation, my statue. Everything is in her name. Like, yes, this hair company is her name. Like, this is her. So it motivates me.
Yeah.
You got to have something that you can anchor yourself onto
Right.
to motivate you to do what you really want and what's going to better you later on.
So you ended up having another child.
No.
No?
No children.
No children.
No children.
Do you want children now?
Yes, later. I
Okay.
feel like maybe in a year or two, I will. You know, I'm solely focused on trying to get myself to be stable, not to have to revert back to anything that's going to get my spirituality uncomfortable, because I think about peace. That's another reason why I left, because it was so confusing in there, trying to think, trying to do this, because you have so many different energies, so many different girls. And to be honest, I never got in any fight, no altercations with none of the girls. I was, you know, to myself, but at the same time, it's still draining, you know, because you got to be there all night. You got to talk. You got to sell yourself. So it's like not the easiest thing. And I know that I was not saying for anybody that's out there that they're not worth more being in there, but you really are worth more. Or making sure that you have an exit plan, you know, even if it's not owning your own business or life insurance, just making sure that you have an exit plan. Right. Like, I'm saving to this. You know, back in the days, they was saving for businesses, college. So we got to get back to having a purpose if we're going to do it, you know? Right. Back to having a solid plan, because that money just goes and comes.
I would encourage anybody who's ever been in nightlife to learn business funding, to learn ways to not go into that industry. Right. Even though when I look at my life insurance business now, it's been 2 years for me. Yes, girl, 2 years. And I see how many great qualities I learned from the club, like being able to communicate, being able to have eye contact, being able to read your customer, see it there. I can almost tell almost immediately if they're going to get a policy. I'm like, yeah, you're going to buy.
You can read the industry. Yeah. So it does give you good qualities as far as being confident, you know, and being able to talk to people. Because like I said, you remember, people aren't going to buy from you if you aren't confident within yourself. Right. So I definitely agree. It does give you some good qualities out here, you know. And then you always on your A game.
Yes. Yes, the beauty.
There you go.
It's the beauty. Yes. Yes. I love that part. I loved working with women who always like kept me motivated to keep my stuff together.
I'm trying to tell you, that was what was motivating me, seeing those girls that actually had businesses going on. Like literally, like I went in there 6 months, I had a car, apartment, staying in a condo, because that motivation of just seeing those women working towards something else than just that made me want to have that exit plan, even when I didn't know what I wanted to do. So.
Well, I really love this conversation. I think that just this podcast alone hit on so many different topics of the club, children, just everything. And I think it's going to feed a lot of people. I just would love for you to end it with maybe some words of wisdom to any of the girls out here who are maybe in the club, who don't have life insurance or want to get into life insurance. What would you say?
Okay, first I'm going to say us as women and men, we always need affirmations first. Starts with ourselves. We got to make sure that we love ourselves first so that we can also love others the right way. Because if we don't, we can't provide a service. We can't have that clear conscience of, you know, that's where people have attitudes and things, because they're not really loving their self or pouring into their self. So pour into yourself. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't do nothing.
Right.
Because I have seen supernatural things that a person has said to me that I can't do this or I'm not going to get it done, and I've done it and pushed through and exceeded. So I always would tell people, never let nobody put you down. And for the people in the nightlife that are, you know, right now you might not have a plan or a goal, but it always starts with putting it on paper, brainstorming, writing 5 things that you probably would like to do or see yourself doing, and then marking it off later. Writing it and putting it on paper is the best thing that anybody can do.
Right.
Because it actually gives it, how should I say, when you write it and you're putting it on paper, it gives it a purpose. It gives it a way to manifest, you know? Like how you burn it, oh yeah, it's gone, they're dead, woo.
Right.
So yeah.
It sets that intention.
Yes. Like it does what it's supposed to do. So those are like really my words of wisdom. You know, never let nobody tell you that you can't do nothing, and putting it on paper, you know, putting some type of plan, even if it's something that you think you might like, put it down, write it down, stay motivated and stay consistent. Definitely.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself, may I add. So how can they get in contact with you? I know you're doing seminars. I don't do, like, I sell IULs, but she's more of a master. So how can they go to a seminar? How can they get in contact with you? How can they work with you? Tell them.
Well, my Instagram, it's Wealthy Insurance, and you can contact me through there. My phone number, I can give you my phone number, but everybody, I'm a little scared, but I'll still give it out.
No.
Okay.
They can DM you on Instagram.
Yes, or you can
personally if they're
email me.
interested. Yeah.
My email is lifeinvestments22. So it will be life.investments22@gmail.com.
Cool. Thank you so much.
You're
That was
welcome.
so good.
I had fun. Yes.